Hey everybody, to my fellow disciple makers and church planners, we're going to be talking about how to bring all the modules together. Now, you might need to or choose to do this before the very end of the modules. What you may want to do is start filling this out as you go, but either way is good. So what we're going to do is you're going to go to the Four Fields Tool and Goal worksheet, which is in the worksheet that you're doing the Bible studies in, or it's down in the video description below. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fill in our name as we go through the process, and just fill in your name and then the date. And then we want you to fill in the vision statement. And keep your vision statement real simple. I put as an example, No Place Left, Boise, Idaho. So that's super simple, all right? It could be no place left your family, or no place left in your neighborhood, or it could be making disciples in Zimbabwe. Something that's super simple. Okay, and then we want to look at the population. And what I did is the population of Boise is about 616K. But when I looked it up on the internet, I saw that 459K are non-Christians. So that's the number that I'm going to work with. 10% of that is, of course, 45,900. The number of disciples that I would need sharing the gospel 5 times a week would be 59. Okay, 58.8. And then the number of churches that we would need is 3,825, and that would be with 12 disciples in each church. So that's kind of a smaller church, but it's realistic for a No Place Left church. And then we just want to double that number because I believe in the plurality of elders. So at least 2 elders in each church. So that would be 7,650. Now, once we have a realistic view of our target, then we want to put in some simple tools into the Four Fields diagram. And these tools are the go-to tools that we're going to use. And you can have a lot of tools, but we just want to zero in on a couple of them per field. So I go for field 1 and 2, 411 is my go-to tool. And that will cover oikos. But I also want to teach that House of Peace module in order to get them, once they've exhausted their oikos, get them out and about and sharing and trying to find those houses of peace. For gospeling, we're going to do our 111, 1 story, 1 minute with 1 question, and then the 2 kingdoms. For discipleship, field 3, we're going to do the commands of Christ. And of course, we're going to use the 3/3 while we're doing that. And 3/3 is going to be a foundation for our churches. But the tools that I'm going to use is the church ID module and then church circles module to talk about church function and healthy church. For leadership development, we're going to go with MAWL, Model Assist Watch and Launch or Leave. That'll be a module. And then, of course, the Timothys, we want to make sure they identify and equip Timothys. And in the Timothy module, you find the mall explanation. And then we're going to do iron on iron. That's that collaborative assessment that we're doing with our Timothys. Now, for abiding in Christ, I'm going to use the John 15 Bible study. And I'm also going to use the love module. Now, of course, abiding is a lot more than these two, but what are your two go-to tools for each area? So this is going to give you the target, your vision, and your basic tools that you're going to use. Of course, there are a lot more tools, but these are the basics. Now we're going to flip the page over and we're going to fill in some goals. Okay, so on the back side of this, we're going to ask a couple of questions. Who is your Paul? For Deb and I, it's Jeff and Angie Sundell. So just write your Paul down there. Now, you may have many mentors, but who is your primary mentor? That's who you want to put in there. And then, who are your Timothys? So my Timothys are Jim and Bob, Jonathan, David, and BC. All right, on our goals, we're going to make sure that they're SMART goals. They're specific, measurable, attainable, relative, and then time sensitive. So let's put in goals for each thing. Now, obviously, these goals are your goals. So give some thought and prayer to what you think you should be doing. So for field 1, I'm going to pray for my oikos weekly. Now, when you're first starting out, it might be daily. But what I'm also going to do is do a HOP search, House of Peace search, every other week with the church. For field 2, I'm going to share the gospel with 3 to 5 people a week. I'm also going to work on Deb and I's video series where we're sharing the gospel with people that we meet as we're traveling. For field 3, I'm going to take Rolly through the commands of Christ, and I'm going to teach him and model for him the 3/3 process. For church formation, field 4, I'm going to help a second church get to healthy church and get them through the church circles. And I want to see 5 new churches planted in the next year, 2018. Now this would be our network, not just one church. So a network of 15 to 20 churches, planting 5 new churches. For our leadership, I want to meet with 5 Timothys at least once a week. And I want to maul them in the 4-day intensive modules. Now for abiding, I'm going to spend 2 to 3 hours daily in the Word and prayer. And remember, abiding is much more than a good quiet time. So I'm going to pray for a friend, a brother, who desperately needs a house. It has nothing to do with discipleship, but he's in need. So I'm going to keep praying for that friend on a weekly basis. Now, this is a living document. It's a document for your refrigerator, not for your filing cabinet. Nathan Shank taught us that, and I really like that. So this is going to change. You probably want to write it in pencil because you'll be doing some erasing and adjusting, But it's a really good way to kind of be very intentional about what you're doing as you go through the 4 fields process. And again, you can begin this process as you're going through the modules. So somebody may recommend this early on as you're going through the church planner's residency, and you can just fill in pieces as you go. But for sure, you want to have something like this at the very end to bring it all together. So I hope this is helpful, and keep working towards no place left, and we'll see you in the next video.